At this time, I'll call to order the Coastal Sharks Management Board. The first item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there any opposition to the agenda or any additions to the agenda? Okay, seeing none. Next up is the approval of proceedings from August 2023. Is there any objection to approving the proceedings? Seeing none, we'll now open the floor to public comment. I see a few people in the audience. Is there anyone in the room who wishes to give public comment to the Coastal Sharks Management Board? Seeing none, I'll look online. None online. All right. That brings us to our fourth agenda item, which is to set specifications for the 2024 fishing year. And I will ask Caitlin to give a presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This should be pretty quick and painless. So the NOAA Highly Migratory Species Division published their proposed rule for the 2024 coastal shark specifications on August 2nd this year, and the final rule is expected to publish later this fall. In that proposed rule, the quotas for the shark species relevant to this board remain status quo from last year, and the proposed opening date is January 1st, 2024. In addition to the specifications, this proposed rule considers options for the 2024 fishing years and beyond to automatically open the commercial fishing season on January 1st of each year under base quotas and default retention limits. And it also considers increasing the default commercial retention limit for the large coastal sharks fisheries. These are the 2024 proposed quotas for aggregated large coastal sharks, hammerhead sharks, non-blacknose small coastal sharks, blacknose sharks, and smoothhound sharks. And for the LCS group and the blacknose group, the proposed retention limits are status quo from 2023 at 55 large coastal sharks other than sandbar sharks and 8 blacknose sharks per vessel per trip. And next are the proposed 2024 quotas for the non-sandbar LCS research group, sandbar shark research group, blue sharks, poor beagle sharks, and other pelagic sharks. And these are also status quo from 2023. And regarding the proposed default measures in the proposed rule, the proposed option or preferred option is to automatically open the fisheries on January 1st of each year with base quotas and default retention limits. And this option would increase the default possession limit for the large coastal sharks group to 55 sharks per vessel per trip rather than the current default of 45. The default possession limit for blacknose would stay at 8. And in this option, NOAA could still adjust the start date quotas and retention limits as needed either before or during the season. So similar to last year, the board can consider whether to approve the 2024 coastal shark specifications via an email vote after NOAA Fisheries publishes the final rule for the 2024 Atlantic coastal shark commercial fishing season later this year. And I can take any questions.
Thank you, Caitlin. Any questions for Caitlin regarding her presentation or the proposed specifications? Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If there are no questions, I think there's a prepared motion that I'd be glad to make. Okay, move to approve the 2024 coastal shark specifications via an email vote after NOAA Fisheries publishes the final rule for the 2024 Atlantic shark commercial fishing season.
Saw a second from Mike Louisi. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, one thing I want to bring forward to make sure everyone on the board is aware, Caitlin and I have discussed this. The ASMFC Interstate Fishery Management Plan for coastal sharks requires us to set a fishing season start date each year. So although NOAA's proposed rule would set it at January 1st for each year, this board would still have to go through the formal process of voting on a season each year. We can leave that in place if that's all right. If we want to change it, that would require an addendum. An addendum is not necessary, but if everyone's comfortable with that, I just want to make sure that the board is aware that that would be the practice moving forward. Okay, any opposition to this motion? Seeing none, this motion is approved, and be on the lookout for an email from Caitlin to vote for that. The next to last action is to elect a vice chair. John, is your arm okay?
Thanks to all the candy, I've regained my strength, Madam Chair. At this time, it is my honor to nominate my neighbor, the multi-talented Mike Luisi, as Vice Chair of the Coastal Sharks Board.
I see a second from Nicola Missouri. Any opposition to this motion? Mike, you can't put your hand up. Right, seeing none, I'll consider that motion approved. And is there any other business to come before this board? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. So moved. Thank you.